Hello everyone, this is yours truly, JBlue68. Today is May the 5th, Wednesday. It is comic book day. And once again, I'm not going to be doing a regular comic book haul. I'm not featuring any comic books that were released today. I'm going to be doing a comic book haul based off of the upcoming final X-Men film, the last X-Men movie coming out this Friday, May the 7th, from 20th Century Fox. And we're going to get really into explaining what that means too in just a moment. In this video, I'm actually double dipping because I'm going to also be doing a brief review of the movie I seen this weekend, which was Godzilla. I heard a lot of mixed reviews about it. Two reviews that I heard from two guys that I'm close to, and I trust their perspective usually on most movies. But I have to say, in this case, they were wrong. For me, anyway. I enjoyed Godzilla. I enjoyed the movie. In spite of the mixed reviews it's receiving and a lot of negative press that it's receiving, the movie did unfortunately underperform because of a lot of pre-screenings that were done. And again, with those pre-screenings were mixed reviews of the movie. But it did something that it did a couple of things that I was really excited to see, and I'm going to try to keep this non-spoiler as possible, but I will say, just like I did with the movie Brightburn, if you've seen the trailer for Godzilla, you pretty much have seen the movie. He's facing off with different monsters, one in particular, and that's King Ghidorah, and that's how it's pronounced, King Ghidorah. A lot of people have a hard time pronouncing the name. Some say Ghidra. He's also referred to as a three-headed monster, which is what he is. His name is King Ghidorah. It also features Mothra, Rodan, and a couple of other monsters in there. But the movie had a lot of Easter eggs in it. The fight scenes were awesome. The acting was okay. A lot of people were saying that the acting was terrible. The acting wasn't that bad. But I will say this, the young lady from Stranger Things, who's in the movie, the lead character, and I'm sorry, I forgot her name. Her name escapes my brain for right now, but she's one of the lead actors in the Netflix TV show Stranger Things, and I can't wait to see season 3, by the way, this fall. But to me, she was an unnecessary character. She was not someone who was needed to make the movie shine, not needed in terms of drawing attention to the movie at all. She was completely unnecessary, and that role, in my opinion, should have been given to a Japanese young actress, as well as the woman who played her as her mother. That should have been a Japanese actress. I would like to have seen the movie look more traditional. That was my hope, with more Japanese actors, aside from Kenneth Watanabe and the other young lady who I think is Japanese. I think that role could have been played by anyone, and I would prefer for it to have been a Japanese actress. In my opinion. Sorry about that. Camera just moved there. And that's my perspective, and I said that before. But one thing I will give the movie credit for is that it did feature some of the score from the original Godzilla movie. And in one of my previous videos, I was playing music from the original Godzilla movies from 1954 to 1975. I showed the CD that I received from Amazon Prime. I love the score. It's by Akira Ifukube. I'm slaughtering his last name probably. But I love the music, and I love the fact that they had that in there. And again, there were some other Easter eggs in the movie, but I would say for you to go see the movie yourself and draw your own opinion. Out of a 10, I would rate the movie probably a 7. It was some things that could have been better. One thing that kind of bothered me is a lot of the fight scenes were in the dark, but in the same time, I'm not too bothered by that, because if you have giant monsters blowing atomic breath and electricity and all kinds of other things, and bombs going off from airplanes and aerial battles with the monsters, technically the air around you would turn dark. So that's my quick review of that movie, Godzilla. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I recommend it for viewing, definitely. All right, well, let's get into this comic book haul of another upcoming movie that's I just mentioned a moment ago that's coming out this Friday. And I just want to just to kind of explain when I say this is the last X-Men movie. It's not the last time we'll ever see the X-Men, but 20th Century Fox actually has owned the X-Men property for at least 20 years now, 20 years plus. And all the X-Men movies you've seen thus far, as some of you probably already know, is common knowledge, the X-Men property was owned by 20th Century Fox. Well, Disney, as has been also announced, bought out 20th Century Fox, and along with that, they reclaimed the property, the X-Men property, which is an original Marvel Comics creation. I've seen all the X-Men movies. I've enjoyed them all except for 3. And X-Men Apocalypse was the worst of them all. I think it really, actually, I'll say I've enjoyed them all except for maybe 2. I won't say 3. But X-Men Apocalypse was the worst. It was just a god-awful movie. And I'm glad that the MCU has been able to reclaim their property. We probably won't be seeing the X-Men until probably Phase 5 or late into Phase 4 of the MCU movies. First thing that they had to do is reintroduce the word mutant, because the word mutant was not allowed to be used under the Marvel or MCU franchise legally, but it is now, because again they're owned now by Disney and Marvel Studios. So I'm sure at Comic-Con, the San Diego Comic-Con, will be getting some kind of announcement, at least I hope, either this year or next year, about the X-Men franchise and where it's going. Right now, though, let me just show you some of these comic books that you see before you. And actually in front of you is another Marvel short box where I store my comics. This is a beautiful rendering, beautiful, just very nice and colorful, of Jean Grey, in her Phoenix form. And it features some of her fellow X-Men, Storm, Nightcrawler, looks like Jean Grey, a younger Jean Grey. No, I'm sorry, not Jean Grey. Rogue, Colossus, and I'm not sure who that young lady is right there. That might be, what is her name? Kitty Pryde. Yeah, I think that's Kitty Pryde. So let's just show these comics that I have really quick in this Phoenix haul. And again, the Phoenix Force, as some of you may or may not know, is a cosmic force from outer space that actually telepathically connected with the mutant Jean Grey. And here's Jean Grey before she became the Phoenix. And this Marvel comic book here, which is Phoenix Origins, we have Jean Grey, Beast in his subhuman form, Cyclops, Iceman, and Angel. These are the original 5 X-Men. And that, of course, is who Jean Grey is. All right, so this is Phoenix Origins. This is from the True Believers line. I had the original book where she became the Phoenix, but I could not find it in time for this video. Here's Enter the Phoenix, where Jean Grey becomes or inherits the power of the Phoenix Force. Okay. Surrounded by Storm, Cyclops, and Nightcrawler. Here's another True Believers book, Death of Phoenix, because Jean Grey is eventually killed or dies in the form of the Phoenix. She becomes a deadly force when she inherits the power of the Phoenix itself. A powerful entity, I should say. And here's Wolverine, mourning her loss, obviously. And here we show before she became the Phoenix, and she and Cyclops uniting in marriage. Scott's also known as Well, he is Scott Summers. His mutant name, of course, is Cyclops. And we have the up top here, the wedding of Scott Summers and Jean Grey. Very nice cover. I remember this issue. Then we get into more Phoenix stories with Phoenix Bizarre Adventures with Iceman and Nightcrawler on the cover. That's a nice cover. And looks like the Phoenix Force behind her. The apparition of the Phoenix Force behind her. And then we get into Phoenix Resurrection, where the Phoenix Force is resurrected. Good stories here in the history of this young lady. Oh, this thing is very shaky. There we go. Now it's balanced. So these are just some of the covers of a lot of books that have covered the story of Jean Grey and the Phoenix Force. All right. So we'll just call this Lot 1. Move this to the side. And we get into Phoenix Resurrection. And isn't that cool? The comic book cover is the same cover that we have on the short box there. This is a lithograph, by the way. It came out during the Marvel Legacy years, or the year of the release of the Marvel Legacy books. Very nice cover there. I think we might have something on the back. Okay, yeah, that's spotlight of the character. And this is just a preview of the Phoenix Resurrection book that I just showed. So really not very much there. Just Marvel Legacy line as it was highlighting during that time. And the Marvel Legacy books came out in 2017. Nice collection to have. And then I have here an Entertainment Weekly book. This came out also in 2017. And the young actress Sophie Turner, who's one of the stars of the hit TV show which just ended, Game of Thrones, will be starring as a lead character of Jean Grey. This movie was actually supposed to be out 2 years ago, in 2017. But the production went under various changes, and a lot of problems were on the set. And there are those who already are scorching the movie and saying that it's not going, that it's just terrible. I'm going to see it, regardless, since it is the last X-Men movie under the 20th Century Fox helm, and see what they're going to do with it, what has been done to it. But yeah, it underwent a lot of production problems, so they're finally getting a chance to release it, and we'll see what happens in this final X-Men movie. So that's it. That's all. X-Men Dark Phoenix. End of the X-Men movies under the 20th Century Fox line. May 17th in theaters across the world. This May 17th. Excuse me. What am I talking about? I enjoy the month of May so much. June 7th, this Friday, opens in theaters across this country and across the world. So that's it. That's all, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit the subscribe button and also hit the like button. I need to get a lot more likes. I hope you like these videos as I present them to you. Hit that like button, share, and subscribe. And that's it. That's all. Everyone have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and get to the theater this Friday or this weekend and check out Phoenix, Dark Phoenix, the X-Men movie. All right. Peace, love, and hair grease.